Hello and welcome to HCG Corporate Designs. In this video I want to give you a little insight into my daily work and show you how I develop a corporate design. When developing a corporate design, I of course generate a logo. I always deliver the logo in different variations such as landscape format, portrait format in 4-color mode for printing in SMYK, cyan, magenta, yellow and black, and in 1-color mode, positive and negative, which means black and white. Speaking of colors, I of course also determine the color scheme. I always work with these Pantone color matching fans that are very practical because they show you realistic colors and how they look like when they're printed. If my client doesn't want to spend extra money for spot colors like Pantone, I always give him the SMYK color codes for normal printing, and I also give my clients the RGB and hex codes depending on how much they work with the internet. The next thing I focus on is the typography, which is very important, meaning fonts or font scheme. Depending on the client working predominantly with print material or online or both, I determine separate fonts for print or digital usage, because sometimes fonts might look different on paper than on screen. So many people forget that or underestimate that. It also plays an important role where the target group of my client is. For example, if the target group is in Russia or is the Russian market, I tend to use majuscules, meaning capital letters, because capital letters have always played an important role in Russian history and in Russian typography. Or when the client works in North America or Great Britain, they still use those indentations at the beginning of each paragraph. We in Central Europe, we used to have that a long time ago, but North America and Great Britain, they still use those indentations. So these are just some little things I focus on when determining a font scheme or typography for my clients. The next thing I focus on are the so-called secondary style elements. These are design elements that mainly subconsciously link the target group to a certain brand or logo. I want to give you an example here. This is the HSBC logo, the HSBC bank logo. I'm sure you know that bank from many airport advertisements or billboards. And when you look at the posters, you see the big red border with a white triangle that is cut out on the bottom right. And this is the subconscious link to the corporate design of HSBC or to the logo of the brand. I also care about the principle of arrangement, which basically determines how certain design elements are placed and related to each other in terms of size and placement. It also gives you the blank space around a logo, because you always want your logo to be able to breathe, as graphic designers say. And last but not least, I give my clients always a corporate design manual, which documents the corporate design concept and shows the client how to perfectly implement and use the corporate design. Enough of theory now, I want to show you an example. My own corporate design that I've relaunched recently. First of all, of course, was a briefing for myself, so I re-evaluated my target groups again, and I was thinking about my desired image. How do I want my clients or my target group to see me? Then I have researched on the internet what small and middle-sized companies and publishers, which are my main target group, think of when they think of the term graphic designer. How would a perfect graphic designer be in their eyes? Then I developed some ideas with certain techniques, what you can see here in these pictures. And I asked myself, what colors, what shapes and what things represent the perfect graphic designer? How do I create positive feelings and emotions with my corporate design in my target group? Based on the developed ideas and the research results, I created some drafts. I selected colors. I was thinking about fonts, so the typography. I created some rough logo designs and was thinking about the principle of arrangement, as you can see here. I then matched the created designs with what was determined in the briefing at the beginning to see what logos match and what logos don't match. I also see how I have to amend some logos to make them match with the initial briefing again. I then normally get back to the client and ask for feedback. In this case I could skip this step, of course, because it was about my own design. And to finish it up, I did some final touch-ups. I was amending some logos and make them look really good. So I turned the 2D symbol, for example, into a 3D symbol, what more reflects my business model. To finish it up, I want to show you one last example of a corporate design I did for a client. It's for Randall Records, which is a London-based record label. This is the old logo you can see here, and the record label boss wanted to praise the family name Randall again. So what did I do? I did a research about the family crest of the Randall family, and this crest features 3 lions. So lions are very typical for England and for English family crests because they're very strong. That reminds of the Empire, of the British Empire. And this is the logo I came up with in the end. It's a vectorized lion that I drew, and this lion is very strong but very elegant and slick at the same time. And you can also see that this line basically steps out of lines that should represent vinyls. So here you can see the old logo again, and here you see the new logo of Randall Records. Comparing the new Randall Records logo with other major record labels, you can really see that Randall Records can compete with the big players in the music industry now. If you want to see more of how I developed the corporate design for Randall Records, please go to my website www.hcg-corporate-designs.com and have a look at the portfolio site there. If you need a corporate design yourself, simply send me an email to office@hcg-corporate-designs.com. If you like this video, please forward it. Thanks for watching and see you very soon.